Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, I had a voice radio. So today, we're going to be looking at some new Legendary Birds promos. And let's face it, right, ever since the teams in Pokemon Go were themed after the Legendary Birds, they've become a little bit more popular in the public consciousness. Now, there is one of these lunchbox type sets coming out on Friday. Of course, you know what else is coming out on Friday? Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu. And the Metroplex deck. And Keyforge, which is kind of Thursday, but shh. So this weekend is going to be so much fun. But in this lunchbox, you get promos of the free Legendary Birds. And I haven't looked at these promos. And ladies and gentlemen, I pride myself on making videos about everything you need to know about the Pokemon trading card game. And I like to be the one that brings you that knowledge. And I haven't shown you these promos, and I think at least one of them could be really quite good. And for that reason, we're going to have a look now. Big shout out to the lovely Matthew Arrive at Immunity over on Twitter, whom you should be following by now. He hooked us up with images, answered a few questions for me earlier today. That dude is a very lovely person. So let's start off with the worst of the free. It is the worst of the Legendary Birds, and it is the team I picked on Pokemon Go before realizing it was the Legendary Birds. Yes, I'm aware how silly that was. It's Moltres. Now, they've all got 120 HP. I don't like 120 HP, because there's several Pokemon out there, like Zoroark, for instance, like Buzzwole, like Golisopod, that naturally hit 120. 130 is way better. All of these have 120, although as a side note, they all have a resistance to fighting, so actually Buzzwole won't KO them. Oh no, wait, they're all using Diancie Prism Star. They totally will. That's a little bit of a pain. And actually, while we're here, they've all got a retreat cost of 1, which is low, and you get Escape Board. And they've all got a weakness to lightning, which with cards like Electro Power having come out now, and Thunder Mountain in Lost Thunder, let's just say that lightning Pokemon are a little bit better than they previously were. Okay, so back to Moltres then. It is a fire Pokemon. You're hitting weakness against grass Pokemon like Decidueye, as well as hitting weakness on metal Pokemon like Duskmane Necrozma. This is very nice. But the attacks aren't particularly good. Fire, double colorless energy, 70 damage. No! Because alright, you whack a choice band on that bad boy and you're getting stuff like Duskmane Necrozma, but you're not getting Decidueye, you're not getting Golisopod. There's loads that's out of range here with a choice band. And yes, you can use double colorless energy, but I still don't like it, ladies and gentlemen. I am, to be blunt, not a fan. And the second attack I really want to like. The second attack has an awful lot of potential. Fire, free colorless, 150 damage. But you got to flip a coin, and if tails, the attack fails. And that's where I get sad about Moltres. I love that Moltres can do 150. You add a choice band, you're up to 180. And there's something like Rayquaza. And then, of course, these are all non-GXs, so you're probably playing Shrine of Punishment. So then you're up to 190, and Buzzwole GX goes down quite easily here. That's pretty awesome. And it's not even like the energy cost is particularly bad. You've got Kiawe, which can accelerate 4 energy, which is quite nice. And you've got Reshiram GX, who accelerates energy using its GX attack. So the energy isn't a huge problem, not to mention we got Makago GX nowadays that can do that quite nicely. So what is the problem? It's the coin flip. You can use Victini to up that 50% chance to a 75% chance. But first of all, that means you need another Pokemon on the bench with an ability that could be turned off by Alolan Muck, as well as getting the 4 energy on there, which is doable, but it's still not as easy as some Pokemon. And then you've still got a 1 in 4 chance of the attack failing. For that reason, Moltres is the worst one. It comes in last. In the next one, we've got Zapdos. And there's a lot to like about Zapdos. The main thing to like about Zapdos, well, there's actually 2. There are 2 good things to like about Zapdos here. First of all, for 1 lightning energy, you do 20 damage, flip a coin, if heads paralysis. Again, Victini. Now, this isn't a stunning attack in and of itself, but do remember that you've got Thunder Mountain, which will make it free, although I think there are better uses of Thunder Mountain. And then you've got Electro Power. Between Electro Power, Choice Band, and Shrine of Punishment, this can get up to a very respectable amount of damage very quickly indeed. And let's not forget that in the next set, we're going to have Electro Charger, which is a great card, which says that when you play it, flip 2 coins. For each heads, put an Electro Power back into your deck from your discard. So that's going to be really good. Is it better than other single energy basic non-GX lightning attackers? Maybe not. I mean, we've got Xurkitree at the moment, and Xurkitree has the same retreat cost and the same HP and does the same amount of damage for the same attack cost, but it has automatic confusion. And here, essentially, you're choosing between potential paralysis or guaranteed confusion, and you're choosing between the 2 attacks. I think I would lean to Xurkitree, but it's pretty close. And then we get the second attack for Zapdos here, 4 colorless energy, 120 damage. And here we are right back to my discussion on Onyx. You see, Onyx has this same attack. 4 colorless energy, 120 damage as a basic. Now, the thing is, Onyx is hitting weakness against Zoroark, which is everywhere. Zapdos is not hitting weakness against very much. Ho-Oh, maybe? But the thing is, the format as it is at the moment is not ripe with lightning weak Pokemon. And I think that's the biggest issue here. If lightning weak Pokemon ever become an issue, then in decks like Malamar, for instance, this hits the weakness while using colorless energy, and you can use double colorless again, and it's a really good tech Pokemon. The thing is, when I looked at Onyx, I could look at it and go, right, this is great against Zoroark. When I look at Zapdos, I'm like, this could be great in the future, and that's my issue, ladies and gentlemen. But I think the best of the 3 is probably Articuno. Now, in terms of weakness, you are hitting weakness against Blacephalon, which is pretty gosh darn good, because that's just about to become the best deck in the format at the end of this week. Literally on Friday, it's like, oh, now it's the best deck in the format, because it becomes tournament legal. So that's a thing. And then, of course, being a water Pokemon, you have access to Aqua Patch to accelerate energy. And you have access to Brooklet Hill to search it out. So there's an awful lot to like about this. First attack, double colorless energy, 30 damage. No, it's really bad. But the second attack, 100 damage for 2 water and a colorless. Flip a coin. If heads, the defending Pokemon can't attack during your opponent's next turn. This is really nice. Now, again, you play Victini, and again, there's a 25% chance this fails. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? If it fails, it fails. It's not ideal, but if it fails, it fails. We can live with this. But it might work. And there's 2 potential things here. 2 things we need to be aware of. First of all, the energy. Well, the energy is not a huge problem. Because we talked about Suicune GX the other day, and we said you can use the Naganadel from Lost Thunder, whose ability attaches energy to itself. And then the Quagsire from Dragon Majesty, that allows you as often as you like to move a water energy to your active Pokemon. So Naganadel gets the energy on the field, Quagsire moves it to Articuno, plus you've got Aqua Patch. This is not a difficult thing right now. Basic water Pokemon. Between Naganadel, Quagsire, and Brooklet Hill, getting a basic water Pokemon on the field and powered up, not very difficult. The biggest issue with this is that it stops the defending Pokemon. So if your opponent retreats, or plays a Guzma, or plays an Escape Rope, or does anything to get their active Pokemon out of the active, even if they get it back into the active, it's over. And that Pokemon can then attack. It's quite easy to play around. The great news is it's quite easy to get Articuno up and rolling, and it will be a one-hit KO on Blacephalon, which is great. But the fact that it's still got a 25% chance of failing if you've got a Victini on the board, and the fact that it can be played around, means that although I think it's the best of the legendary birds, I don't think it's stunning. Now, I'm excited about the legendary birds right now, because I'm excited about Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, and they're coming out on Friday, and I'm so psyched about that. And I like the legendary birds, even if I did pick the wrong one for Pokemon Go. Although, as much as I picked Moltres, I based it on the word because I was listening to a podcast and I did not realise the colours because I'm a bit of an idiot at times. I will say, all of my family also happened to be on the red team. So actually, I can now go out playing Pokemon Go with my family. It worked out, but let's be clear, Zapdos is the best of the legendary birds. Feel free to argue with me in the comments. In terms of these cards, Articuno is the best. I don't think Moltres is good. But I think there are arguments to play Zapdos and Articuno, so be aware of them because they're promos that are only coming in this tin. Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, now it's over to you. I want to know what you think about these cards, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, but please do remember the rule. Be nice, would ya? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all of that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays for some more Wassy action. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.